Hello, my name is Rainier.
My name is Morgan.
My name is Evan Baird, and today I'm getting baptized.
I grew up in South Africa. I had a loving Christian home with parents that exemplified Christian values. I would say that I lived the life of a very comfortable Christian. Then one day, everything changed. I went from living in total comfort into a season of total discomfort. My family had to immigrate. One of the greatest challenges I faced during immigrating, which also became one of my greatest blessings, was moving to a non-Christian school. In the past, I felt like my identity as a Christian was rarely challenged. I didn't need to be vulnerable. I didn't need to put out a lot of effort. I was intellectually stimulated by Christianity. I knew that God was real and that He loved me and that Jesus died for me. But I was able to hide from having to actually live as a witness for Christ. In around my last year of high school, I felt convicted to go further than wearing Christianity as just a label or just showing up to worship services. I started to make an effort to read my Bible, to pray, to hold my tongue, to be patient, and to be a witness for Christ. I've come to realize how much of myself I held back from God compared to what He deserves. Last year at university, I was pretty lazy with coursework in one of my classes. Just like with my spiritual life, I neglected the parts of the course that I struggled with, the uncomfortable parts. I failed because I was too afraid to leave my comfort zone and too lazy to put in the effort that I knew it would take. I now realize that every day I wake up is another day that I get to carry my cross and live for Jesus. Every day is another opportunity to be better and live out the love I have received from Him. I never would have gotten this far without the support of my loving parents, my mom's never-ending patience and love, and my dad, who I can always run to for help. I also greatly appreciate the contribution of my amazing girlfriend Alexis, who always reminds me to put my troubles before God, reminds me to pray for myself and others, and just to keep me on the straight and narrow in general. Today, I'm getting baptized to declare my faith in Jesus Christ, to witness His reality in my life, and identify myself with His death and resurrection. I'm getting baptized to publicly commit to pursue a life that seeks to witness Him through the way I live, no matter how uncomfortable life may get. I'm ready to get baptized.
I probably have a similar story to many of you. I grew up in a Christian home and attended church every Sunday. I always knew of God from as early as I can remember, but probably first accepted Him into my life in small groups. There have been two key experiences which have played a big role in my faith journey. The first was attending youth and Easter camps as I grew up. These were experiences God used to help immerse me in learning about Jesus and also grow a real passion for Him. These were also the places where I have made my closest Christian friends, which have helped to massively encourage me. The second key experience in my life has come from attending Northcross Church. The biblical teaching and community I've experienced here has really reinforced and strengthened my faith I have in Jesus. And this is where you'll find me today. I'm ready to publicly identify myself with Him. The key people that helped me get to this place today would probably be my family. They helped raise me in a loving and Christian household, which really encouraged my faith from a young age. As well as this, my Christian friends and youth leaders have been hugely influential in guidance and encouragement. All of these people have been a true blessing in my life. God has and will continue to work in my life, and I believe that He is telling me now to just trust in Him and trust in the fact that He has a plan for me. Therefore, I am obeying God's commandment to get baptized tonight to declare to the world that I'm a follower of Jesus Christ.
I was born in South Africa and moved to New Zealand when I was 11 years old. I grew up in a culturally Christian home, but we did not attend church. Faith wasn't something we discussed often. I claimed to be a Christian, but I didn't really understand the gospel or what it meant to have a relationship with God. An important step in my faith journey happened in 2022, when my best friend from school, Lundy, invited me to church where I felt so welcomed. I felt like I belonged, because church began to feel like a second home. There are two main things that God has used to massively grow my faith and passion for Jesus. The first has been growing in my knowledge of God and Jesus' sacrifice. A very basic and powerful step that helped me grow in faith was simply bringing a notebook to church. Taking down notes allows me to go back, reflect on what I have learned, rather than hearing a message, then later forgetting it. There's no specific point in time where I fully gave my life to Christ, but I now feel in my heart and am determined with my actions to give all of myself to Him. God has put key people in my life who have influenced me through genuine encouragement, care, and guidance. There's my friend from school, Lundy, who was courageous enough to invite me to Church. I can't encourage you enough. Invite your friends to church with you. There's my youth leader, Daniel Tetlow, who has been a constant encouragement, challenging me to grow in faith. And there's Isaac Claassen. He has always been willing to answer my questions and guide me when I struggle with faith or have doubts. Since I have drawn closer to Christ, I have seen real changes in my life. Before, I had bad habits and didn't realize how my actions misrepresented Christ. I now try to be more intentional about how I speak, act, and reflect Jesus on a daily basis. With the help of the people around me, God has guided me to grow and change from the person I was to the person I am today. Today, I am getting baptized publicly to declare my faith in Jesus Christ, to symbolize the reality I've experienced in my heart and to obey God's command for us to be baptized.